Hi, welcome to TNT, coming to you from Phang on the Andaman coast here in Thailand. And weather is still in the news. Basically anything south of Chumpon on the Gulf of Thailand coast still experiencing severe flooding. We'll check out the latest in just a moment. Also, the future of Pattaya and places like Walking Street. A bit of a changing scene in recent times, and we'll check that out as well. All coming up on today's TNT. Thanks to 5 Star Marine. So let's just check on what's happening in southern Thailand at the moment, according to the information we have. And we start with the weather map. As far as this morning's concerned, this according to ventusky.com, along that coast of Nakhon Si Thammarat, we've still got quite a lot of rain activity, but not really extending far into the peninsula from what we can see. NationThailand.com has the heading South braces for more flooding, North remains cool and windy. More misery in store for southern Thailand today as downpours add to the already severe flooding in Nakhon Si Thammarat. Then the article goes through some detail and some particular areas in Nakhon Si Thammarat. If you're travelling through the area, you should read that article in Nation Thailand. And adding to the misery, the Meteorological Department has issued a weather warning for heavy to very heavy rain in the southern region. And it points out places like Chumpon, Suratani, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Patalung, Songkhla, Pattani, Yala and Narathiwat. And then on the Andaman coast, it lists Ranong, Phang, Krabi, Trang and Satun. Okay, so let's just head to the maps again and look a bit more closely at the Andaman coast. And as we move through the day, this is 10 o'clock, then 12 o'clock, a little bit of rain appearing around about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and then into the evening. So according to Ventu Sky, there does appear to be a little bit of rain crossing over the peninsula today. As we speak at the moment, I've got bright blue sunny skies, so let's hope that continues. The article from NationThailand.com reports that the conditions are very different in the upper part of Thailand, where a cold air mass from China extending over the north on the South China Sea will result in a 1 to 3 degree drop in temperatures and strong winds. And checking Thai PBS World on their Facebook page, speaking about noon yesterday, the roads leading into the city of Nakhon Si Thammarat are impassable to most vehicles, and canals in the area have overflowed, flooding residential areas. Rescue teams are urgently working to help people and to evacuate them from the flooded areas as quickly as possible. People might be out there gasping, oh my goodness, isn't the wet season already over? Well, no. Along that particular part of the Gulf Coast in southern Thailand, you've got the wet season in November and December every year, although this has been unseasonably heavy. We head to this story in Khao English. An Australian tourist who travelled from Suratani province had a close call in Nakhon Si Thammarat when his car plunged into a deep floodwater. Unfamiliar with the route, he lost control when he ended up submerged in a roadside ditch. Fortunately, because he kept his car windows open, he managed to escape and swim to shore safely. So it looks like that Australian tourist has had an interruption to his plans of travelling around southern Thailand, but at least he got out. Tuesday, the 17th of December here on TNT, let's check in with the Bangkok Post. A girl falls from octopus ride seriously injured. This happened in Nakhon Ratchasima, which is northeast of Bangkok. A 12-year-old girl was under close watch at a hospital yesterday after falling from an octopus ride at a fair in Pak Chong district. And she had a broken rib, a grade 2 spinal fracture and air in her chest cavity. According to reports, the girl fell from the ride around 8 p.m. on Saturday. She was in the company of her elder sister, who said the ride was started before the safety bar was locked and it threw them off as it began spinning. Well, I don't know about you, and it might just be my age, but there's plenty of things I look forward to doing in Thailand. But getting on a carnival ride is probably not one of them. So hope that young girl does recover. Let's talk tourism just briefly. Once again reported in the BangkokPost.com, Chinese tourists' flows to Thailand likely to stay flat. So the way things are these days, the flow of Chinese tourists is pretty much the barometer that the TAT set for if tourism is doing well or not. But they are predicting that next year the tourist numbers may not increase. So just before we go on, checking this photo, the caption reads, "Chinese tourists wear Thai school uniforms as they make their way through Bang Lampu in Phra Nakhon in Bangkok." Now, I've read about this in the past. I don't know whether it's that widespread. Interested to know if you have seen much of it. Probably you just thought they were students walking past you anyway. But I have to say that when I've visited different places around the world, I have been very lucky to travel a lot in the past. My first instinct wasn't to put on the school uniform of the students of the country I was visiting. So I would be interested to hear your comments about that particular trend as we get into the story. The inbound Chinese market next year should remain flat and is unlikely to change much from 2024, with around 7 to 8 million arrivals. And the president of the Association of Thai Travel Agents, I'm not even going to attempt that, said it would not be easy for Thailand to gain 9 million Chinese tourists in 2025, which is the target set by the TAT. He went on to say the growth of this year would still largely depend on global geopolitical tensions and the Chinese economic situation. As of December the 8th, Thailand had welcomed 32.7 million foreign tourists, with China being the largest market with 6.3 million arrivals. And with 15 to 20,000 Chinese tourists per day visiting Thailand, they're saying this year should not exceed nearly 7 million tourists, which is below the TAT target of 7.3 million. So it looks like we're going to end up with 34 or 35 million foreign tourists this year, which is about 4 or 5 million below the peak back in 2019. So I think Thailand generally has done very well, with statistically the Chinese still leading the way for tourism by far. Will be interesting to project what the tourism trends will be next year. Will we sort of move closer to that 39 million target, or perhaps even exceed it? I would be interested to hear your comments on that matter. Now, one person who used to be very high profile in the headlines, had his own PR department, was rarely out of the headlines around Thailand, was Surachate Hakparn, the once head of the immigration department, once the deputy police commissioner. But some sad news for him. NationThailand.com reporting top court rejects Surachate's request to block dismissal order. The Supreme Administrative Court turned down the former Deputy Police Chief's request for an injunction against his dismissal orders. So it looks like the days of Surachate Hakparn, Big Jokes days, as a member of the Thai police force or immigration are over, but now as a civilian he does face a number of court cases. Now let's head to Pattaya. I found this story in pattayamail.com. Walking street go-go clubs are becoming luxurious party venues. So the biggest story here, and I would be very interested to hear in people who frequent Pattaya or who live in Pattaya, what you think about this particular trend to sort of gentrify not only Walking Street but other parts of the town. Let's go to the article, and it says the traditional go-go club hosts solo naughty boys being tempted by rentable lady pole dancers. It's a recipe that made Pattaya's after-dark entertainment scene world famous. But Walking Street's top-tier go-go's are on the move again. They're becoming bigger and more luxurious, with ultra-high definition big screens, footage videos, whatever they are, and high-tech sound systems far removed from the recorded music of yesteryear or a lone DJ. The base market is no longer lonely guys sat on bar stools, but birthday parties, group nights out, reunions and assorted celebrations in comfortable surroundings. So has the perceived sleaze just moved from Walking Street to somewhere else in the town? Or is Pattaya really getting gentrified and we're just seeing less of the girlie bars and more of these sort of upscale nightclubs? A new and flexible terminology is taking root in staff hiring. Both freelancers and salaried employees are welcome. PRs, or public relations, are responsible for attracting people into the club and need sales and communication skills. In Australia, we used to call them spruikers. Coyotes, I think that's a spelling mistake, not the wild dogs, must be very attractive and hospitable, but cannot automatically be bar-fined. Models are the pole dancers who are available and can be hired in the traditional way. Well, I've really got to get back to Pattaya at some stage and just see for myself exactly what's happening. Probably 4 or 5 years since I've been there. But the article finishes with this statement. Walking Street is slowly but surely losing its traditional market of Westerners on limited budgets and being replaced by Asian men, often in groups looking to party in luxurious surroundings. There are now 7 or 8 clubs catering mainly for Indians, and none of them are for cheap Charlies. Others attract customers who are from South Korea or Singapore in particular, very generous tippers by all accounts. The article, penned by Barry Kenyon and published in PattayaMail.com, would be very interested to hear your thoughts on this slow transition or evolution of Pattaya. Is it obvious to everyone, or is it really just a cute headline? With all that, thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening in Thailand. I do look forward to seeing you tomorrow.